Can you believe that I have never made a single video on this channel ever that references Naruto in any way? Well, Yurusei Sasuke, I'm sorry about that. And to remedy this, let's talk about Yurusei Sasuke. So Yurusei Sasuke is a phrase that is uttered in chapter 402 of Naruto, which has a lot of chapters, and was released in Japan in June 16th of 2008. In this chapter, the character of Itachi apologizes to his brother Sasuke by the phrase Yurusei Sasuke, which is literally, I order you to forgive me, but in context is, yeah, more like, I'm sorry, or please forgive me. In the English translation, it did become I'm sorry Sasuke, which as far as I know hasn't become like a meme or anything like that. But in Japanese, Yurusei Sasuke kind of did. And meaning-wise, it's really simple. It just means like sorry. Although from looking at uses of this on the internet, my opinion is, I haven't seen this written down in Japanese anywhere, Japanese people might disagree with me, but this is especially useful when you're apologizing for something you're doing that is kind of nerdy, especially even potentially manga related. For instance, I looked this term up on Blue Sky and the first two posts I found were pretty geeky. Like one is about writing and erasing manga panels, and the other is about playing games while you're sick, but you should be resting, but it's the one thing that allows you to forget kind of reality, and so you apologize to Sasuke, I guess, for not doing the right thing. And Twitter was like the same. When I went on and I looked, the first hits that came up were about, hey, I changed what I want to draw based on my vibes, based on how I'm feeling. Sorry about that, Sasuke. Giving us the manga link again. And in two posts that came up right after that, we had one person apologizing to Sasuke, who here means everyone that follows their account, for posting non-cosplay information at times, and the other person is talking about something embarrassing they did at a fan event for the band Snowman. So yeah, all kind of nerdy sort of stuff. But that might just be because the people that know and use this phrase are a bit nerdy, so they happen to be apologizing for nerdy stuff more than often, and it's certainly not like a rule. I found posts like these, which someone is apologizing to Sasuke, which again here means I guess all their friends for being too busy to contact them, and the other person is just apologizing to the general internet for taking a video of their cat in a room that is a little bit dirty. And you can even apologize for eating fried chicken, which I don't know why you ever would. Maybe it's to your personal trainer. But when did all this start? Well, actually, the timeline for Yurusei Sasuke is quite interesting. If you look on Google Trends, it has a lot of random bumps and actually increased interest now. So this is still a term that is alive, although again, I would stress it seems very, very nerdy. But that's fine, like you're watching one of my videos. So, we all know what you are and what I am. Let's not pretend that anyone involved in this interaction is not a bit nerdy. But as you can see, we have a spike in 2007, which I'm kind of think is just not real. Google Trends is a really amazing website. Please don't delete it, Google. I know it doesn't make you money, but be altruistic. But when you get back to older data, it does tend to have some kind of noise in the data. The bump in 2008 is very easy to explain because that is in June of 2008, which is again when the panel came out, so people were talking about the panel. Here's some people talking about the panel in 2008. When you find uses of Yurusei Sasuke at this point in time, everyone is still just using it because they're quoting the manga. But what's the bump in July in 2010? Well, actually, I can explain this. I did the work and I found it out. In 2010, Lawson's had a promotion where if you bought some of their fried chicken, you would get a ringtone that had actors from Naruto saying the phrase, although they changed it to be chicken related, because if you look at the full text of the original manga again, it's not just Yurusei Sasuke, it's Kore ga Saigo, which is this is the end, but they added no karaage-kun to the end of it, so he says, sorry Sasuke, forgive me, but this is the final fried chicken. And I want it. Lawson's, if you're watching this, please send me that audio. I can't find it anywhere. But like, it's real. The Lawson's account mentioned it in 2010. And using Wayback, I found their promotion website, although unfortunately all the images and links and everything are gone. But now that I'm recording this video, I'm remotivated. And if I can find audio of it, I will put it right here. And if I didn't, Yurusei Sasuke. I tried.
Yurusei Sasuke. これで最後だ.
Anyway, it then took to about 2011 or so for people on the internet to start using Yurusei Sasuke in the way we talked about, which is just to apologize to someone or to the general internet for something you did. The earliest clear examples I can find are these ones you see here. And I'm not going to pretend they're the first ever, but honestly, I looked through a bunch from before that and I couldn't find any that weren't just, references to the manga, references to chicken, etc. In context, though, importantly, it seems that there is not, to my surprise, honestly, a I am doing something nerdy here vibe at the beginning of this. It's just a apology. kind of. Like the first person's just talking about how they haven't been feeling very good, all of their plans are delayed, and so they're just kind of asking Sasuke, which I guess is the world, life, anything for forgiveness, maybe their teacher. And the second one could be a lot of things, but gatenkei can refer to just manual laborers, but also within the gay community, it is used as a term for people that like somewhat muscular builds, but also find the outfits themselves attractive. And given the context here, I think they could be like apologizing to Sasuke for delighting in thirst traps, kind of. And there are, even early on, some pretty fun variants, such as people who use the entire phrase but then add stuff to it, kind of like we did with chicken, such as this person who is apologizing to Sasuke because it's not the end, but it is the end of them using gacha pulls. And for what it's worth, again, if we go back to that Google Trends chart, 2012 is the first bump that leads into consistent bumps, and the first post I found were in 2012 seems to line up. But what about that final bump in November of 2020? Well, I looked and I'm not really sure. There was a re-release of the Naruto anime on Blu-ray in 2020, but it was for the original, not Shippuden, so it didn't have like the episode where this term came out. And when I looked through a bunch of tweets between October and December of 2020, I couldn't find any that had a lot of attention and showed the kind of influence that would cause this kind of bump. So I don't really know what caused this bump at all, and I can't explain it to you. And Yurusei Sasuke.